as we go into the rest of the program now, I'd like to invite Daisy Snyman to come and join us, as she's going to make a presentation that will be very important for every parent and grandparent, aunt or uncle. There's a lot going on in our society that presents itself as benign that is not. So this evening, our first presentation will be made by Daisy. Sister Daisy, the time is yours.
Yes? Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? It's good, that's good. So, as you've seen on the program, I'm going to talk a little bit about anime. Just give you a short introduction as to what anime is and why is it so addictive, and how did I get addicted, and why is it so dangerous, and why is there such a huge culture on anime? So, the thing about anime that I want to share about me to you, is how it affected my LGBTQ lifestyle, how it affected my personal identity, all right? Now, if the slides will come on, I see they're having a bit of a struggle, because the first image I want to show you is, I want to show you the difference between Western cartoons and anime. But first I need to know, how many of you know what anime is? You've never heard of it, right? Okay, there's a few. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I was addicted to anime, it was really hard to get a hold of it, right? That was like 10 years ago, okay? You had to go through back channels and online, the deep, dark, any possible way you can. It was not easy accessible, all right? But now, I mean, you switch on the TV, Netflix, Prime Video, everybody's got anime, right? It's right there. And when I saw that, I actually got frightened, because many people watch it and might feel, there's not much to it, it's just pictures, moving pictures, right? But what I actually want to share with you, that it is not just a show, all right? It is not just an innocent viewing. Now, don't get me wrong, all right? This is what I said before I really got into anime. I told them, no, people are reading too much into this. A bunch of nonsense, It's just a show, it's just funny people doing funny things. No. Here's the thing. If the slides will come on, then I can show you. All right, let me then continue until it comes on. All right, so anime affirmed my own created identity. What do I mean by that? Okay, so there was 4 types of anime that I was addicted to, and I'm going to mention a few of them, and I'm going to tell you why I was addicted to them. All right? Who have heard of Pokemon? Right? Yeah, many of you. They came out in the 90s. All right? Now, Pokemon, it's about this kid, Ash, and they walk around with these Pokemon, which is actually pocket monsters. All right? From young and old, and this little kid strives to be the best. He wants to be the Pokemon master, all right? Now keep that in mind. There's also these 2 distinct characters called Jesse and James. Now, every time Jesse and James jumps into the picture, James will always dress as a girl, and Jesse dresses as a man and James dresses as the guy all the time, and I never understood that. And for me, it was just so funny. Meanwhile, I didn't realize that that actually had an effect in my life. Because here's this cartoon kid dressing however he comes forth as, because he always comes as this feminine character, and James just likes to wear women's dress. And Jessie was always the dominant female character, right? Now, again, I want to go back. Such subtle messages that got slipped into my mind, all right? No, don't worry, I'm going to go back to that. But remember I said Ash, he was this kid wanting to be the best, okay? Bearing that in mind, the second one, who's heard of Dragon Ball Z? Yeah, there's a few people, right? Now, I remember when that came out, oh my goodness, everybody made sure that they are on time after school, at home, this specific time, because Dragon Ball Z is on. And I remember a time when I would do anything just to be in time for that show. I didn't care what was happening. I had my bowl of cheese curls, always, and my cup of Coke, and I'd be ready for the show to come on. Anyway, so what drew me to Dragon Ball was the main character, right? Do I have a clicker? There we go, Dragon Ball. Let's go to that one. There it is, all right. Now, see the slides are still a bit jumbled up. All right, yeah, let's hold it there. All right, so the main character you have there is called Goku. Now, he's the one on the far right. So, get this, he came to Earth to destroy Earth, but he hit his head, and so he became the savior of the Earth. Right. And the reason I was drawn to this character...
So when you want to go to the next slide, just click this. If you want to go back this,
let's see. Gotcha. Wonderful. So some of these topics can be pretty dark, some of the characters. So while I'm going through this, I really ask, can you guys just help me go to the very first slide, please? Because otherwise I'm just going to keep flipping until the very first slide. There we go. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Difference between, let's go to that first. Okay, difference between anime and Western cartoons. I'm going to show you a few pictures. Which is anime and which is cartoons? Right. It's so distinct, right? And this is what makes anime so famous, is because of the manga style. They call it manga. I don't know if you've heard of that word before, but their detail and distinct lines is what make them so popular, apart from Western cartoons. How about this one? Right? On the left. Which would you be more drawn to, right, if you look at it? Well, for me, obviously, anime, because, I was an artist, so for me, that was especially appealing. All right, so if you notice, with these two simple pictures, the anime is more expressive. It has more details, and it's more defined. And there's a reason why I'm mentioning it, right? And here's another example. Huge difference. And I'm showing this because some people that don't know anime actually ask me, what's the big deal? All right? Here's another cute one. Very distinct difference. Gosh. Next one. All right. So I already mentioned a bit about that. Now, what I want to go through quick sticks, because I only have a few minutes, I learned, is different types of anime. But I'm going to have a lot of wording, but what I encourage you to do is, when it does go online, please pause and read this, because there's a reason why I put it on here, okay? All right, so on the left, the highlighted part, you can read with me. So people in Japan, in many other countries as well, seem to be mesmerized by the distinct look of manga. the overt display of emotions that are often ridiculously exaggerated, the clean lines done in pen and ink in style of the Japanese calligraphy and painting. At a young age, this is important, children are being given manga for both entertainment and educational reasons, okay? And by habit, they keep on reading comics from designated categories as they grow up as well. In a way, what is manga at its essence helps shape them as human beings and influence their characters. Right, here they just overtly blurted it out. This is our intention with manga. All right, it is clever and well designed. Stories of business, politics, history, relationships, and just life in general, right? Stories that very often carry spiritual or philosophical messages. This is now a really deep, quick rundown of anime. And this philosophical and spiritual messages was really the one that pulled me in, because in my life, I had tons and tons of insecurities. And when I watched manga, I saw these characters, and each one of these characters I could relate to. These 4, Pokemon, Dragon Ball, Naruto, and Bleach, don't worry, I'll tell you a little bit more about what that is. But the main character, Pokemon, Ash, he was always striving to be center of attention. He wanted to be the Pokemon master. Now me, I had my insecurities, right? I wanted to be that popular hero person. I just wanted to be noticed, right? And that's exactly what Ash in Pokemon wanted to do. So I unknowingly kind of related to the character, and it was so appealing to me that I couldn't stop watching it because I admired him. I mean, it's just cartoons, but here I am really admiring this character and enjoying Jesse and James and their silly appearances, which I actually have a picture of. Let me quickly go to them. Yeah, that's Ash. There we go. You see, so Jesse always dresses as a man, and James always dresses as a girl. For no reason. I mean, come on. I already struggled with my identity issues. So you can just imagine how me watching this and admiring the, what's the word I can put it, the controlling, the stronger, dominant, there we go, character over the man. See, because in my life, the men always, I felt belittled by them. And that's a whole nother testimony in its own. So I'm not going to go too deep into that. But for me, I wanted to strive to be that strong masculine role. And Jesse inspired me in many ways. So many elements just in this one character that drew me. Now, remember, this is my experience, right? But later on, I'm going to show you something that's quite interesting. I went online, and just for interest's sake, I went online and I said, why do people get addicted to anime? And I got two distinct groups. The one group was people that absolutely love anime. And then you have the other group that got out of the anime addiction. And their answers are crazy similar. I found that quite interesting as to why they say people get addicted to anime. All right. Now, let's go to the different types of anime. The reason I want to show you or tell you these different types is because, remember, I said that anime is distinctly designed to educate and entertain the young minds. All right? They blurted it out. All right. The first one is, oh my goodness. All right, some of the terms I might slaughter, so please forgive me. I don't speak Japanese at all. All right, let's do this. The first one is the Komodo manga. All right, so that's for the little kids. That'll be, let's go back. Okay, no, it's fine, leave it there. All right, so the Komodo manga. I just want to give you an example because this is for kids, okay? Little kids. This is their genre. Here you have two characters, right? Gash Bell and Q Morrow. Now let's look at the description of this specific genre. All right, so Kurumumuke, there we go, is one of the most popular genres. It literally means intended for children. So under it comes the children anime. The that one, series usually concentrates on giving moralistic lessons. All right, often teaching kids about staying on the right path in life. Interesting. They are the best instruments to keep the children at bay from watching things outside of parental guidance and unfit for their age. Children's anime is more simple with episodic plots. Right. Let's look at what this story is actually about and see if we can find any moralistic ideas for this. It's for kids. It's safe, right? It looks cute. All right, next slide. Here we go. Don't worry, I'm not going to read everything. All right. On their 14th birthday, a small, naked child crashes through his window. This is now, let's go one back. That one. All right. So the small, naked child would be the one in the yellow hair. All right. A small, naked child crashes through his window, his being the Q Morrow. All right. This kid's name was Gash Bell, okay, and Gash Bell is the kid with the yellow hair. All right, the kid's name was Gash Bell, and his goal was to be a mentor. Right, a naked child crashes through his window, and that child is to be a mentor. Right, okay. Moving along. But Q Morrow soon realizes that Gash Bell is a demon. Gash is also embroiled in an intense fight to see who is the ruler of the demon world, armed with the power of the Red Book. Q Morrow must now help Gash Bell defend himself against other demons, friendship, and courage. Do you see what's happening here? They color it in as innocent, and when you watch it, yeah, it looks funny and all that, but I mean, come on. Really? Anyway, all right, let's go to the next one. Next one. All right, Pokemon. Already mentioned that. All right, Dragon Ball. This, like I said, was my all-time favorite, and I was drawn to Goku because, again, like Ash, he was striving to always be the strongest, always stand out, and always defeat every enemy. I wanted to be that strong character, even so that I saw myself in Goku, and I lived my life through him by watching it all the time, because in my life, my insecurities, I didn't want to live in my reality at all. So what do? Because I was so drawn to anime, I found these characters, these stories that just found, hey, these guys know what I'm going through, right? So I'm going to keep watching it. They are actually my reality. My reality is not real. It's sad, but that was my mentality watching this all the time. All right, let's get to the next one. Oh, shonen manga. Remember I said Naruto was one of the anime I was addicted to? Naruto, gosh, you see that yellow hair kid with white shirt? Isn't he cute, innocent? Yeah, a few pictures later, it's the same kid. So it comes across as innocent, this cute little kid. he was an orphan. He was orphaned. And as a child, a demon was placed in him by his parents. All right, so he inherited the sins of his parents. I was drawn to this character because he was an outcast. He was different. People didn't accept him because of this demon he had in him. All right? So what happens later on in his life? He starts to make friends with this demon, and him and the demon worked together to fight enemies. So he accepted the demon in him to improve his life, to be stronger. Keep that in mind. That is the demon. Isn't he just lovely? Right? Now, the picture on the left is just in the story, there are different kinds of demons that are engraved in people, and the strongest one was the nine-tailed fox. All right, so Naruto had the strongest demon within him. All right. Why was I drawn to this kid? Weak, insecure. He became strong by embracing a demon inside of him. What I didn't notice is that I accepted that theology, that teaching. I accepted it as, okay, so if I allow Satan in my life will be better. I didn't know this at the time, but I willingly opened the door for Satan to come into my life. All right. There he is, at his most powerful, embracing the demon, and he is the hero of the story. Satan is the hero of the story every single time. Ash and his pocket demon is the hero every single time. Goku, who was actually there to destroy the earth and became a savior, is the hero of the story. Right, but no, anime is there to entertain and educate the young mind and teach them how to be human beings. Teach them about life in general, the philosophies, and how to deal with life. All right, this is actually also what they said. All right, Bleach. Oh, gosh. Boy, do I have a lot to say about this. But don't worry, I won't. Here's a few examples of the characters. And don't they just look absolutely lovely? So here we have the characters. So you have the captains. Those guys are really strong. All of them, let me say 99% of them, are sadistic and evil, and the way they think and talk. And they see others, some of them see the female characters as objects. So they're always being looked at as lustful, all right? And how they portray the females, it's always the same. It's in the big upper body, big breast, huge bum, tiny, tiny waist, and this small, sharp jawline. And it's attractive. It's like so drawn to that physique. And all the anime, I want to say all the anime, but I guess I can't say that. 99% of them, the females, always has that distinct look. Now, what did that do to me? Insecure, with all my insecurities, outcast, definitely did not want to be part of the world because I thought the world hated me, but Satan accepted me. So I kept watching anime because, you know, it's good. I can relate to these people. I'm living in their world practically. So let's look at the lieutenants. The lieutenants are the ones that work under the captains. All right, so they're always working together and they're not much better. All right. Now, let's go to the hero of the story. Again, as a child, their parents instilled was responsible for putting a demon in him. So he inherited the sins of his parents. Right. So here's Ichigo, that's his name, orange-haired kid. Now, those funny-looking things are called hollows, all right? Those hollows eat the souls of people. And the captains and the lieutenants are the ones called to kill the hollows, all right? I know that's a lot. So these sadistic, evil guys are saviors of humanity and kill these hollows, yet the hero of the story is half hollow himself. Right, isn't that confusing? Again, Ichigo, he became powerful because he embraced the demon inside of him. So what did that happen to me? What is happening to me psychologically here? There's a pattern happening. Accept the demon in your life. Not knowingly, I allowed Satan in my life. Again, I didn't notice. I didn't at all. For me, it was just nice to look at. I'm an artist. It looks good. I even start drawing it as well. Right. Don't worry, I'm not going to read all of that. Ooh, this is a good one. This is another type of manga, right? Now, this manga is aimed at teen girls and young adult women, all right? So this anime is more drawn to teaching teenage girls how to live life. It's educational, again, all right? Okay, let's see what they are actually going to teach us here. The first one, Yuzu, I'm not even going to attempt that, and Mei, all right? These two, oh my gosh. Let me just read this one part. When Mei and Yuzu first met, it's on absolutely terrible terms because Yuzu doesn't dress respectably, okay? Student Council President Mei treats Yuzu like she's beneath her. While she's barely even willing to talk to her, she does molest her in public in order to confiscate her cell phone and forcibly kisses her without permission. Yuzu quite reasonably resents her for not caring about her consent, but then ultimately decides she likes Mei. Now, this is aimed at teen, adult, young women, and it is to educate them about life. Right, but it's nice to look at because it's a funny story. It's just casual viewing. Sure. All right, let's move on. It gets even weirder. Don't worry, I'm not going to read everything here. Now, on the left, it is obvious that those are two men, right? I'm not even going to tell you how this story happens when these two men end up together. But again, it teaches young teenage men about life. No, it's just casual viewing. It's just fun to look at, you know. But remember when you read in the beginning, it is so meticulously designed to educate people. Right. Okay, sure. Now, the one on the right, Wolf Girl and the Black Prince. This one, oh my gosh, I'm just going to read the first bit. Wolf Girl and the Black Prince is about this girl, Erika, who starts in a new class. She has no friends. She just kind of dives into the first group of people she can talk to. That is, funny enough, exactly what I did in school. Anyone who's willing to talk to me, you know, I was trying to be friends with them, trying to fit in as best I can. Right. Okay, two girls, let's see, where am I talking to? Who are two girls who are completely obsessed with their, oh, okay. So, of course, she has to make up a boyfriend. How about that? So she shows them a picture of this random hot guy who turns out to be I'm not even going to try attempt to say that. One of the cutest boys at her school who happens to be in another class. All right, so she made up this guy. Meanwhile, this guy actually exists and is in the other classroom. So what happened here? He agrees. Now he finds out. This is where it gets creepy. He agrees to keep up the ruse as long as she agrees to be his dog. Right. Which is pretty much another way of saying his slave. He teases her mercilessly. He makes her do things like if she, makes him angry, he might throw a stick and be like, go fetch. And she has to go and get it. It's very dehumanizing, and the anime ends with them officially dating. And he's still kind of a jerk, but he's gotten better because she changed him. Right. This is educational, right? I mean, this is what people see, and they basically just told me how to treat someone that's beneath you, right? And funny enough, I was that person where I would literally do anything to fit in. The influences that I had, I don't want to say I was forced into it, but I wanted to do it because I knew. And when I talk about the kind of influences, I talk about the drugs, the alcohol, because that's what everybody was doing. And they accept me while I'm doing this, right? And it doesn't matter what they say about me. It doesn't matter if they bully me. I was getting the attention. All right. Oh, man, this gets even weirder. I'm going to encourage you to please go back to this recording and please read all of this. So I'm not going to go into that right now. What I do want to do is get into the last two types, josei and hentai manga. Now, this is more targeted to young adult, or dare I say adults, basically. And I'm just going to read the description there. Josei manga is traditionally printed in dedicated manga magazines, which often specialize in a specific subgenre, typically drama, romance, or pornography. While josei dramas are the most cases I want to say realistic stories about the lives of ordinary women. Romance josei manga are typically soap opera-influenced melodramas, while pornographic josei manga shares many common traits with pornographic manga and heterosexual male audience. Yes, this exists in manga. Funny enough, with Dragon Ball Z that I mentioned, there's actually this article that the one woman wrote, which I'm quickly going to read to you. And I found this quite profound. And I take my hat off to this mother. Don't worry, I'm not going to go to that slide now. The content of the manga has been controversial in the United States. In November of 1999, Toys R Us removed Viz Dragon Ball from their stores nationwide when a Dallas parent complained that the series had borderline soft porn. After he bought them for his 4-year-old son, 4-year-old son was watching it, and the parents saw that there was borderline soft porn. Some parents don't really know what their kids are watching because these are subtle. A specific moment that happened in Dragon Ball Z is this one girl, Bulma. She was talking with this old guy. She wanted a favor from this old guy to find something. It was called the Dragon Ball. Anyway, and he said, okay, but she must show him her underwear. This is in the cartoon. Okay, that's interesting. So the show goes to what she's thinking. And she's like, well, he doesn't know that I don't really care that he can see my underwear. But what he doesn't know is I don't have any underwear. So she lifts up his skirt and shows him, just exposes herself to him. And then he gave her what she wanted. Right. Need I say any more? No, this is educational and entertainment for the children. Hentai manga is a very specific manga which is just full-out pornography. And yes, that is available. All right. Defining identities. Now, for me, like I mentioned, in all of these characters, I created, without knowing really, my own type of identity of who I want to be. First off, I wanted to be the hero. I wanted to be noticed. I learned that the male characters are the ones that kind of take that role. So yeah, that's who I'm gonna be. Now, let me tell you something interesting. We are running, I only have a few minutes left, but this is like the pinnacle of why I want to share all of this to you. Remember I said that those examples of those children characters that allowed Satan in their lives, and because they allowed him in their lives, they became great. I unknowingly allowed Satan in my life by exposing myself to watching all of this. I didn't know it until there was a specific event that happened. Don't worry about the slide. There was a specific event that happened. It was an educational event. They taught us how to pray with other people. So it was just a general, training session. And I was the guinea pig, as in other words, the people that was teaching us sat in front of me, and they showed everyone else that was sitting around us how to pray, how to conduct the prayer service. I thought, okay, yeah, sure, I don't mind. I'll be the example. As soon as that prayer started, I had a tremendous anger that filled my body, so much so that every muscle in my body was shaking. My teeth was clenched. My fists were so tight that my nails dig into my hands. And I didn't understand it. And so they just continued with the prayer. And 2 hours in that prayer, I had this severe anger. And the people in front of me tried to get me to say, I choose Jesus. I didn't want to. I realized that I had this immense barrier between me and God, and I allowed Satan to be within that barrier. Interesting. So after that 2 hours of prayer, them fighting for me, I opened my eyes, and that was a moment when I said, I choose Jesus. Immediately, I had no anger within me. I was so calm. I felt light the moment I said that. And that's when I realized, gosh, what have I allowed in my life that this demonic casual viewing caused in my life? And that's the reason why I wanted to share this story to everyone, that it's not just casual viewing. It does have an influence. When at the end of that prayer, when I opened my eyes and I looked up, the 20 people around me were exhausted because they were praying the whole time. And I was finally free. So here I am, free as a bird, transformed. And I wanted to thank you for having me here and to share this with everyone. Thank you, guys.